Please, Sim.
Do that. We're starting. Everyone, welcome to our Monday night educational calls. We are so honoured to be able to present these to you every Monday night. Now, April's very special. It's one of the hottest topics on the planet, hormonal health, and we're kicking off this month's education with our doTERRA queen, Vanessa Jean, who is going to take us through a very personal menopause masterclass. So without further ado, we will let Ness take it away. You also have Simone from doTERRA, our product manager, and myself, both menopausal queens, as well as Vanessa Jean, here to support you and man the chat. So please pop all your questions in the chat and we will answer them whilst Vanessa Jean is talking. If we have time after the class that we can do some personal chats and questions, we will certainly do that. Ness, I am so excited about tonight. Thank you for sharing your journey and your incredible knowledge on hormonal health and aromatherapy with us.
Thanks, babe. Thank you so much. Hey, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Let's look at being hot and wise. Hot being the operative flipping word. Oh, my word. I think I have some PTSD with the word hot. All righty, Sim, let's go to the next slide. Dr. 𝗪𝗧 𝗪𝗦𝗧 is one of my favorite authors in the world. She's taught me a lot and she's really helped to mold me. It actually brings a lot of emotion to me when I think about the passageways she's taken me down, and I have my father to thank for this. I was in my teens and going through a really rough time. I had anorexia, I had body dysmorphia. I thought I was the dumbest, fattest, most horrible person in the world, had lost my confidence. I was a teenager and going through the thick of it. And I never really understood why all of that happened, because I came from such a loving family and Italian and Maltese background. And yes, you know, we're all up in each other's faces, but we just need to make sure everyone's on mute. Maybe click everyone on mute, Sim. Oh. I'll stop talking and then we can unmute me.
Yep, just muted everyone.
Just press mute. Okay, here I am now. So I never really understood it. I was never abused. I never had trauma. I had such a blessed life. But when I was in my teens and a maiden, I decided to believe the story that I was fat. And so a huge, I guess, doorway opened for me that I think my family never ever thought I'd walk through. And I began the journey of starving myself. And not only starving myself from nutrition, but starving myself from being loved, being lovable. They kept loving me through it all. But then my dad and I were super close. Are super close, he's still alive. And he had always given me the resources I needed. I've been meditating since I was a little girl, and I loved books. I devoured books. And I used to listen to, back in the day, cassette tapes. Just put a 1 in the chat if you used to listen to cassette tapes. And they were like, he used to give me lots of personal development cassettes. And so he gave me Dr. 𝗪𝗧 𝗪𝗦𝗧's Women Who Run with the Wolves. Jackie, if you want to put that in the chat, Women Who Run with the Wolves. It's one that everyone, I think every woman and young girl would benefit from reading this. I don't care how young or old you are, as long as you can read and you're in your teens, like age appropriate, be in your late teens, you need this in your life. She has written many books, and she reminds us of the inherent goodness and love and power and majesty and grace that lives with us all, and our wisdom. And this is one of her quotes: "Within every woman there is a wild and natural creature filled with," and the words I chose just for this presentation, ageless knowing. Ageless knowing. Next slide. Because here's the thing, when we can understand the archetypes, and there are many, I'm just going to bring 3 up in this presentation today, our passage through life can be met with more grace. So let's look at, for this presentation, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So the maiden is about becoming, the mother is about creating, and this isn't about physically birthing a child either. This is about creation energy, and the crone is the return. It's returning. So the psyches and souls of women also have their own cycles and seasons. So whether you have a child, whether you've had a hysterectomy, whether you've never been given permission to be a woman, this is for you. If you go to the next slide, Sim, our passageway through to postmenopause is very much influenced by what happens in our early stages, how much is repressed, how much fear there is around us, around bleeding, for instance. My mum had her first bleed when she was only 11 years old, and her dad was home. And back then, this was women's business, not men's business. And she started screaming. She didn't know about it. And he said, "What's happened? What's happened?" And she said, "I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding." And he said, "Wait there, don't move." So she actually sat on that toilet for hours waiting for her mum to come home. She didn't understand what was happening. And so her mum came home and sorted it. And I remember my Nana Gina saying that was the biggest mistake I made, not to have told her sooner. She didn't expect mum's bleed to come so early, right? It was stress induced. So in this day and age, we look at then the maiden as that first menarche, right? The first time that you bleed, you begin to bleed. And so the hormonal landscape of this is very different, but related to what happens through the menopause journey. So we have the rising estrogen, increasing hormone rhythm and fertility. The essence of this stage is exploration of self. Who am I? Pushing the boundaries of independence, right? And then looking at possibility. So our body focus is very much, our body is establishing its own natural cycles. So we're learning body literacy and building hormonal resilience. And this is a really important stage because she's discovering who she is. We just need to make sure everyone's on mute, please. And if any of that is suppressed at this time, let's go to the next slide, please, Sim. During the mother time, this can arise. So where 𝗪𝗏 was your ally as the maiden, the key essential ally here is rose. So because the mother archetype represents creation and nourishment and giving. So these are our reproductive years. Now, for some women, it's not about actually having a physical baby, right? This is about a new business that you create, books you write. It could be anything that you have a gestation period with and that you birth into the world. So we're now looking at, with our hormonal landscape, this cyclical balance of estrogen and progesterone. So ovulation and bleeding, we're setting this natural rhythm in ourselves. Anything that was suppressed as the maiden can come up for the woman who's going through the mother stage in her life. It can come up with traumatic births, for instance, or the way she mothers. Like anything that's suppressed has to come out. What goes in has to eventually come out, right? So the body focus here is supporting ovulation, supporting your bleed time, your adrenal health, and sustained energy, because women are often absolutely wiped out and exhausted around this time. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So we go from a woman who's deeply giving to others and not really supporting herself necessarily, where we come into the crone. So the crone often gets a bad rap with people. I'm not talking about witches here, nothing. I'm actually just talking about the archetype of crone, which is the older, mature woman who has the power within her and remembers. She goes through a restoration, and the restorative period is often the big M. It's often that the whole, perimenopause through to postmenopause journey. So this is the mother coming into her queen self, going into Crohn, becoming the Empress self, really. So this perimenopause time, so that you know, can last up to a decade, and for some more. Menopause that is 1 day now, science is showing us. It's just you've had 2 years without bleeding, without your menstrual cycle. Sorry, 1 year, not 2 years, 1 year without your menstrual cycle. And now they say, tick, you are menopausal. From the next day on, you are in post-menopause. I naively thought that this was going to mean that I'd have less symptoms and I'd start to feel better about myself and so on and so forth, and more confident and be this wise crone mama, right, when I was younger. But the actual fact is it's a journey to get to this level, because we have to go through this discernment to find our sovereignty. We have to come out from confusion and mental disarray to clarity, to discover who it is we are and to unearth our own discernment. So here we're focusing on nervous system and emotional regulation, hormonal balancing and regulation, including cortisol. That's one of our key hormones here that's often affected, and then inflammation. So this is about the deeper restoration. And so the key essential oil for our Crohn's is myrrh. She no longer lives for others' expectations, but begins to live from a deep truth now of this embodied wisdom. Okay, next slide. All right, so as we go through this time and we remember who we are, which many people have coined the 0Fs era, I think what they're referring to is for the first time in their life, they're not so attached to impressing others or to doing things for others. They're literally here to remember who they are and not to worry so much what others think of them. Right? Next slide. And so when we're supporting the woman in midlife, we're remembering that you are magnificent, right? Despite the hormonal influxes, despite the flare-ups we can have, the dysregulation we can have, what happens here is we remember things like she's not to be feared. This stage of our life, the crone, the queen, the empress, she's not to be feared. It's like just have a healthy respect for her and let her help you to rediscover yourself. Because can I see a number 2 in the chat if you found things work for a certain period of time for those going through the Big M? They work for a little bit until they don't. And then you've got to find the next thing that works. And this is for men and women, I want to say. And I want you to remember this isn't failure. It's a transitory period. This is your transition. Because I kept thinking I was failing. I kept thinking I'm a clinical aromatherapist. I'm a psychologist. I've been teaching this for 30 years. I should know how to deal with this. I should know better. Next slide, Sim. And really what I remembered was I might be able to find the answers for others, but pushing harder to try and find them for myself wasn't working, right? So to support this woman, this is a quote that I remember. The dangerous old woman goes where she wants and says what she wishes. The dangerous old woman remembers who she is and remembers how to ask for what she wants. Why we say dangerous, and that's in italics, is because, you know, society has deemed that in the past, and that's why so many women have ended up institutionalized, on heavy medication. I think most of the women who ended up with shock treatment and in straitjackets and in white rooms with padded walls were actually highly dysregulated women going through the menopause journey. So here we look at oils like myrrh, spikenard, rose, bergamot, putting those in your aromatic dressing, diffusing them, layering with magnolia touch, myrrh touch, often and much, getting out your blue lotus and recalibrating your system, lining these oils up and down the lines of stress that live within you. Next one. As you begin to support yourself you begin to respect yourself more. You begin to understand that who you are is absolutely exquisite. Who you are is a gift. And the only danger is you not recognizing this. The only danger is lying in any arena where you don't love yourself enough to look after yourself. I do have a gift of like a little ebook for you all with, you know, some of this stuff summarized in there for you. But if you want to take photos, just please take photos as we go. When you're working with essential oils like this, you're working with the, shall we call it, energetic DNA that is given to men and women. We have our physical DNA, and then we have like this invisible imprint over that. And it's all that encompasses all the stories and all the things we hear where we internalize them. If it was, you know, if it was scientifically looked at, people wouldn't see that. The scientists wouldn't see that. But we can feel it. We can feel these stories crowding our minds and our hearts and our wombs. And for men, your etheric womb, right? The hub of your creation. And they imprint, you can go to the next slide, Sim, and they imprint us so deeply. So much of who we become and what we say and what we do, go to that one, is impacted deeply. So if you look at these essential oils, myrrh is key for the entire menopause journey, because there's an element of acceptance she brings. She's sourced in very harsh conditions. She grows in the most unlikely of places. She's about restoration. My gift to you is restoration. My gift to you is reminding you of your divinity. You were touched by that divine spark right at that inception point, millennia ago, right? And that flame lives on in you. She also reminds us to accept who we are and accept that growth is part of our journey, right? So the affirmation that you could say with her as you aromatically dress is, my inner guidance is my strength. And spikenard. Nard is an ancient, beautiful oil of anointing used in the time of Christ when Mary Magdalene anointed him, washed his feet in nard, in holy nard. And this is about gratitude. This is about seeing your divinity. My gift to you is seeing your divinity. As women, we need to remember this. Gather in circles again, anoint each other's feet, anoint each other's hearts with rose, anoint each other's wombs with myrrh. Inhale bergamot to remember your radiance, your flame, your light. And then layer everything with magnolia, that grandmother wisdom, the true crone mama, right? She was here since before the bees. She had bugs, insects, beetles around her. Beetles used to pollinate her. My affirmation with magnolia, or what Adam and I have in our book, is, I enter the space of solace to gain wisdom and understanding. All of these can be found. I know a lot of you have it in our book, Gifts of the Essential Oils. Adam can put it in the chat for those of you that love this kind of thing. Rose is more than just the oil for love. But I want you to remember that where she says, my gift to you is love, this is all encompassing. This is a reminder that we are beings of love. We're born in love, to love, and to be loved. Next slide. So my story of becoming is, it was quite harsh. It was quite an initiation. I couldn't wait to embrace this phase until perimenopause hit me like a freight train. So maybe for this little bit, Sim, what we can do is just come off the slide share and let me connect with everyone's faces just for a moment, and then we'll come back to the slideshow just so we don't have death by PowerPoint. Okay, so I was in deep, deep shame with my journey. I didn't realize I was in perimenopause at first. I just had weird things that started happening. So the weight gain started slowly, brain fog started happening. I didn't have the capacity I once did to create things. I was a prolific writer. It was like the well just became so dry. And my physical body dried out as well. I was going through a lot with our daughter, who was going through her own traumatic experience. She was coming into the hormonal time and her first bleed as maiden, and I was going through perimenopause. And my family is my everything, and I was giving my all to my daughter because no one knew what she was going through. So this was literally, is she going to live or is she going to die day by day? It wasn't from suicide or anything. It was a medical condition we now know is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and she has hypermobility, so a really rare form of it. It's HEDS. But we didn't know that then. She was having seizures. Her hands would end up like claws, like this. She couldn't move. It was the worst time of our lives. And thank God I had my husband with us by our side. But all the while, everyone, I was going through perimenopause. And I had probably every symptom known to this journey I experienced because I became so dysregulated, so incredibly dysregulated. I was heavily sleep deprived. I was waking up every 20 to 40 minutes every night. So for 5.5 years straight, I didn't have a full night's sleep. Plus I was looking after Ariel, and in many times I barely slept at night, let alone for 20 or 40 minutes, because I'd be massaging her, trying to help her body to limber up. Then fast forward to 𝗪𝗛𝗧 release with doTERRA, and I did all the research and discovered how incredible this was for metabolism, for everything, and how metabolism really orchestrates how our whole body responds hormonally, sleep-wise, energy-wise. And my husband, Paul, kept saying, babes, I really think you need to be on this. I think this will make a big difference. But I was so attached to staying vegan, because I'd been vegan since I was 15, that I was just struggling conceptually to shift my mind to say, yes, I need this. Anyway, fast forward, after another year or so after the release, I did, in fact, try it. And I took it at night because I knew that's where I needed most support. I took 1 𝗪𝗛𝗧 sachet, 2 lavender peace soft gels, and 2 𝗛𝗙𝗧 soft gels. And for the first time in 5.5 years, I slept 5 hours straight. I didn't know myself. I couldn't believe it. And so that became more of the regular. I was waking up before with, hot flushes and lots of dysregulation stuff going on. I had massive vertigo. So much was happening. Couldn't drive. So much was happening. And once I started on 𝗪𝗛𝗧, and I've never looked back, stayed consistent, all that's happened is things have gotten better. Things have gotten much better for me. Because I was taking that anyway, I reasoned, well, I'm not vegan anymore. I'm going to go on the new 𝗬𝗎𝗡𝗔𝗡 as well, and the VMG+. So that's what I did. And brain fog was clearing. Everything started changing: skin, hair, nails, everything. My mental health and emotional health took an upswing, and my husband started getting his wife back, and my kids started getting their mama back as well. Now young adults, my kids. So that's a very condensed version of my story, but I just wanted to share that with you to edify what I'm about to say, because yes, I can tell you the science, right? As a clinician, I can go down that rabbit hole. But there's nothing like hearing a personal story, because I feel like doTERRA, the essential oils, but also this metabolic suite, was my absolute saving grace. They saved my life. There's no other way to say this. I wanted to check out. I was just like, take me now. And I wasn't joking when I was saying it. All I could think of was, I can't leave my children motherless. Paul's not going to love being a widow or widower, but I can't do this thing called life anymore. I need something. And so this is what came in. So if anyone can relate to any of that, we hear you, we feel you, and just know that this is real. No matter what anyone says to you, it's real. It's your experience. You're not going crazy in the sense that maybe people are telling you you're going crazy, but you are going crazy on one level because your whole world has been completely flipped and turned inside out. And this can happen for men and women. Okay, Simi, we can go back to the slides.
My greatest fear is sharing slides, guys. So let's just hang on for a second while we try and get that to share again. Here we go.
Thanks for allowing me to share my story, everyone. I appreciate it. I'm trained very clinically that I don't share anything about myself. So doTERRA has taught me to do that. Next slide. Okay, so let's look at a day in the life of hormonal support. If there's one gift I will give you, it is this. Please play with it. Please know that this is just some things that are working for me. If for those that are following me on Instagram, you'll see I'm constantly sharing what's working and what's not so that I can help you through those changes. Don't think that I've got this nailed. It's an everyday journey, right? I haven't got it perfect. I love how Simone shares what she does because she's so transparent in sharing. Some days are absolutely incredible and some days are so god awful. I want to lay down and not get up again. And I think that's very indicative of our lives, right? So next slide. I want to break this down for you morning, day, and evening through to the night to help you to come up with something. I want you to think about your foundational wellness in a new way. I want you to think about your lifelong vitality as the rock solid foundation that every single person needs. And from there, you build up upon it. If you build a house on concrete slab, what happens? You have a strong house, right? That house isn't really going to move. It's not going to just fall out from under your feet. But if you build a house on sand, you're going to end up living on something like Venice. It's a sinking ship, right? So you want to make sure that you have these key nutrients. If you have any questions, Jackie is in there to back me up with this because I don't have enough time to go into everything. But I want you to understand that every month, month in, month out, if there is nothing else that you can afford to do as a customer in doTERRA, love yourself enough to have the lifelong vitality and make sure you always have lemon essential oil by your side. Either lemon, grapefruit, or tangerine is fine, but what we've done with doTERRA Australia, New Zealand is pack them up together so that you have a discounted pack for you, right? And why I say lemon, tangerine, or grapefruit is because you want the oils high in limonene, right, to help support those detox pathways. So think of this as your daily body reset. We're preventing inflammation, hormonal health is being supported, oxidative stress, sluggish detox pathways. With the lifelong vitality and lemon, that's what you are supporting. Healthy foods can be such a misnomer, right? No matter what you're eating and what you're doing, we are depleted. We're working with depleted food because of depleted soils and farming practices. Next slide, Sim. So then you have this strong foundation beneath you. The 𝗪𝗪 is unlike anything that is available in the world. I have looked, trust me, nothing has what we have in one capsule here with 𝗪𝗪. Everyone at this stage in their lives must have this because it's working with oxidative stress. If you don't work with this, you end up diseased. You end up with inflammation so high that it riddles your body and you end up with life-threatening diagnoses. Eggs and omegas are essential for your brain health. If you want a healthy brain, healthy hormones, you want healthy organs and a heart that keeps beating and a skin shell around you that holds you together, then you need omegas. If you don't care about any of that, don't have the omegas. No problem. Easy, right? Now, the microplex, this is probably the one that most people don't understand how much we need because they think, well, I eat my fruits, I eat my veggies, I have fiber, I have, good meat and et cetera, et cetera. But here's the difference, my loves. You need things to be bioavailable, right? We've got to fill those nutritional gaps in the world to support our metabolism, to support thyroid function, to support our hormones, to support our immune system. Bioavailable means our body can use it. It means it's taking in those nutrients, and that's why with lifelong vitality, mental health is on the up, emotional health is stabilized, right? You have better brain health, better cognitive responses. We have a whole area on this with our TGA, Therapeutic Goods Administration, claims we can make this is a medicinal product. You have to look at it. You have to be on it, right? This or the VMG plus the new 𝗬𝗎𝗪𝗔𝗍, either one of those, you know, for those that are watching this overseas and you have the VMG plus and 𝗬𝗎𝗪𝗔𝗍, that's okay as well, but you have to have the foundation. Let's go to the next slide. So where the lifelong vitality needs to be taken twice a day, 2 of each twice a day in the morning or as soon as you break your fast, and then in the evening with a meal. So you have to have that with food. When you're looking at some other supplements I talk about, you take them away from food. So try not to get too overwhelmed. My invitation to you is now to think of the rest that I'm teaching you now as the building blocks upon which you're building on that beautiful, strong concrete slab, which is your lifelong vitality and lemon. So the first thing you wake up, don't touch your phone. Do not touch your phone, right? Just get sunlight in your eyes. If you can't be up with the sunrise, it doesn't matter. Don't stress yourself. Sleep is more important. Get the sleep you need and then get the light in your eyes as soon as you can, right? Within those first 30 minutes of waking. Why? Because the sun rays hold all the color rays, the spectrum of color in it, right? It gives us everything we need and it nourishes us. It's like light nutrition for us, and it sets up our circadian rhythms. So that means your sleep-wake cycle can be set with the rising and the setting sun light, right? Step outside, get that in your eyeballs. Don't wear, you know, like glasses or blue blockers or anything like that. Just take them off and let it come through the naked eye. And if it's really strong, close your eyes and just let it penetrate your lids. This still works, and get it on your face and on your body. For those that can, bare feet on the ground while you're doing it, that's wonderful. And breathe. Just even if you take an essential oil, you know, peppermint, Frankie, Shinrin-yoku, whatever it is that helps regulate you, put a drop on your hands and just breathe it in without touching your eyes. Just be breathing it in 3-5 times. A quick, good way to regulate your nervous system is just a really simple breath called box breathing. Inhale for 4, pause for 4, exhale for 4, and pause for 4. And that's it. It's just 4, 4, 4, 4, right? That doesn't stress your body out. It's a good regulator. Then, okay, you've done that. We're regulating cortisol. We're setting up our sleep-wake cycle. And then I want you to get a glass of good quality water and put 1 to 3 drops of lemon in it. So I don't know if you can see my little box here, but if you've got, you know, a glass about this size, it's quite deep, you can put, you know, like 3 drops in that, 2 or 3 drops in that. If it's a smaller glass, 1 drop's enough. And that's going to help support your detox pathways and strengthen your detox pathways. You want to rehydrate your body before you take anything caffeinated. You need a liter of water before you touch caffeine. That's the way it is usually. But most people are so addicted, they miss that. Or they also go for food, but really they're thirsty. And this is something to remember for the whole day. So this is where MetaPower Recharge comes in. Now, I just want to remind you, the MetaPower system is a suite. I call it a metabolic suite to support you. It is a suite with everything you need to support your body systems. This is the building block up on top of the lifelong vitality. Adding Recharge took me to a whole new level of being. During the day, I had less energy crashes. I had better focus and cognition. I started writing again. Because what this does is it hydrates you at a cellular level. So I was hydrated differently. So I wasn't peeing every 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I was honestly, guys, I was so scared that I was pre-diabetic. I was so scared I was in onset early dementia. I thought my husband's going to end up a widower really early. I'm like on a steep slope toward death, right? That's the only downside with being a clinician. I was seeing too many signs, right, of things. But what I didn't realize was this was all happening because of the menopause journey I was on and cortisol dysregulation, and my metabolism was messed up, right? Thyroid was, nothing was wrong. Nothing was showing up as wrong, right? But I knew things just weren't right. So you've got to support from the morning your detox pathways and your energy production. Now, when we have the 𝗪𝗏 Max in Australia, I want you all to have that because it sustains your mitochondria, it feeds your mitochondria, and drip feeds energy into you. In the meantime, you can get it from the USA cart. But your LLV has components in it, has ingredients in it that will support your mitochondria. So this is another reason. So mitochondria are like the energy vehicles of your body, of your cells, right? So LLV is also going to give you that mitochondrial support. Key for a day that actually has you feeling like you're thriving, not just existing. So your body activation and nourishment throughout the day. I want you to remember that there's so many things that we can be told to do, and it really flipping overwhelms us. Put a 3 in the chat if you get overwhelmed at go outside, get sun in your eyeballs, do this, do that. Well, just keep it simple. Dry brush just 2 or 3 times a week. Dry brush once if you want. Dry brush once a week. I don't care, once a month. Just remember to dry brush at some time and slowly increase it. And on your dry brush, grab that 𝗪𝗧 blend from the suite, and you're going to put it on your hands, 2 or 3 drops, and rub it into the bristles and rub it onto your skin. And then you're going to dry brush. And then after you dry brush and you slough off all that dead skin, you stimulate your lymphatic system. This is why you're doing it. It's why it's so important. You're stimulating your lymphatic system, which doesn't have a pump of its own, right? And then you get in the shower, you're rinsing off all that dead skin, right? And you come out, and the next step is you're going to aromatically dress. Jackie will tell you what the 𝗪𝗧 oil does in the chat, if that's okay, because I've got to keep going. So you can aromatically dress. If you don't know what that is, let us know and we can put the YouTube link in there. But you're going to dress in the essential oils. Take a bowl, a couple of squeezes of your fractionated coconut oil, maybe a few drops of, like, you could do 8 drops of the 𝗪𝗧 oil. That's going to set up a process of lipolysis, which is fat burning, help prevent more cellulite to be formed, help detox your body, and really nourish your skin and invigorate you. Invigorate your spirit, boost circulation. I've got it written down there for you. So then hormonal and emotional regulation during the day. Diffuse, like if you don't know how to make blends for yourself, don't worry. doTERRA's got you. They're so amazing. They've got you. So citrus bloom and or supermint, put them together. They're amazing. Or just choose one or the other, and they're going to uplift you in the day. Get your aromatic dressing on in the morning. That's going to uplift you and energize you. I've got in the ebook a beautiful hormone blend. That might be what you want to use. Now, take your 𝗓𝗧 skincare. Can I see, are we up to 4? A 4 in the chat. For those that are using 𝗓𝗧. If you are not, I want you to find out about it, and I want you to bring this into your life if you are going through the menopause journey. This will feed you and your body, your whole body system, unlike anything else. I say plus 𝗪𝗏 for a very good reason, because this protocol that I'm setting up here for you is supporting mood, emotions, hormones, nervous system, and it is feeding the largest organ of your body, your skin, right? 𝗪𝗏 is incredible for hormone support. When you put that in your 𝗓𝗧, you're going to stimulate collagen production in your skin, which the 𝗪𝗧 Advantage is also doing, and your omegas are supporting, with good oils, good fats. And if you're having a real, if you're having like a flare up, you can take the dropper, the 𝗪𝗏 with the dropper, it's the botanical duo, and put 2 to 3 drops under your tongue to support you. And this will help with so much. POM is pomegranate seed oil. It's high in antioxidants. Again, Jackie, maybe you can put some stuff in there, and I'm happy to give some stuff to send out, or look at what, you know, doTERRA has. But when you use 𝗪𝗡, you are supporting yourself. The blues, what I call the blues, the 𝗪𝗡 in them, they are really relaxing, right? They're going to regulate your nervous system and help you just slow down. It's rich in this 𝗪𝗡 and the sesquiterpenes, so they're deeply anti-inflammatory. This is what you're looking at with 𝗪𝗡, and they're soothing your skin. So anyone that has anything coming up with their skin anywhere on their body, 𝗪𝗡 can go on it. It's like gentle enough for anywhere on your body, including your vagina. If you're having, you know, pain down there, it's a natural analgesic, this formulation, which means natural painkiller. You can be putting it around the labia. You can even put it internally if you want to, with extra coconut oil, and just gently put it up into there. If it's painful lovemaking, you can be using this to support you with, you know, just deep breaths, right, while you're doing that. Yes, you can use 𝗪𝗡 post-menopause. I don't talk much about 𝗪𝗡 here for this stage because I'm sharing what's working for me. Next slide, Sim. Oh, I will say with the 𝗓𝗧 skincare system, oh yeah, this is good to have here. With the 𝗓𝗧 skincare system, my loves, you do your steps, your cleansing steps, and then you can do some rose hydrosol. And rose hydrosol any time of the day or night for hot flushes is really good, and for your moods and emotions. Then what you're going to do is your steps, you know, 3 and 4. And then you take your booster oil, and I want you to put a little bit, like half probably, a dropper of booster oil in your palm with 1 or 2 drops of the 𝗪𝗡. Then you're going to mix them together in your palms, and you're just going to dab that onto your face and your neck, décolletage, and then you can do extra over your breasts. This is super good for your hormones. And then you're going to lock it in with the 𝗓𝗧 moisturizing cream, that hydrating cream. The cream, it's water-based, is going to lock in all the beautiful effects of those oils. So this number of drops, for those of you that have known me a long time, you know I'm quite conservative with my drops normally. This is still quite conservative, actually. It's more clinical. It's more a clinical number of drops that I've given you to here. But I want you to just remember that adding those extra drops of the geranium and clary sage is what absolutely changed my life, doing this. So this is my aromatic dressing, and in the ebook, I've got the extras in there of what I use. But for those of you that just want to start with this, go for it. This is what I started with. And then I added a couple of those extra oils like 𝗪𝗡𝗦 and Siberian fir, which is in the ebook. All right. So every morning and every night, I want you to get this aromatic dressing on your body. If you're going out in the sunshine, do not use bergamot. Use wild orange or green mandarin. They're not photosensitive. Photosensitive means you can sunburn, and bergamot has the highest rate of, it's the highest in photosensitivity. It'll make you burn more than anything else. So don't put that on in the sunlight, but you can use it the night before. Okay, next slide, Sim. There's so much to cover here, you guys. My gosh, I hope that this is all okay. Can you just put a yes in the chat if you're following me? I hope this is all okay. Are we all right? Are we staying? Oh, great. Okay, relief. All right. Okay, I'm trying to give you all the things so that you can feel really supported. After aromatic dressing, whatever's left on your hands, you can put in your hair. But I want to tell you something. Can I please have the word hair in the chat? If you feel like your hair is thinning out, or you're losing a lot of hair, or you have brain fog, you can put fog in the chat. So, okay, there's lots of you. So I'm going to give you one extra tip before I go on to supporting through the day, because this is something to use through the day. So what you do is, I want you to just write these down: Spanish sage, rosemary, and geranium. If you feel really discombobulated and need some grounding, add cedarwood, which is also good for the hair and scalp. So cedarwood, geranium, rosemary, and Spanish sage. And you're going to put them, just put a little bit of each on your palm. So literally just go like this on your palm. Like, you know, just touch the topper onto your palm like that. Then take it up to your fingertips like this. Inhale, and then you're going to massage from your hairline and take it right through your scalp like this, and go with your thumbs under the base of your neck and up into your occiput. And then the rest, just go like this through your hair. And then breathe in the rest. This is what that's going to do. It's going to help you to be clearer, to clear that brain fog. And it's going to support hair growth and, thanks, Kaz, hair growth and lushness and shininess. Like this is it. This is my hair. I'm really proud of my grays. I don't know if you can see my grays here, but I love my grays. But yeah, this is really going to help. And once a week you can do a warm oil treatment with those oils, and then just wrap it up with a towel. Like actually put the oil, warm some olive oil, and put, you know, say 5 drops of each of those oils, and massage it from the scalp to the tips. Tie it up in a towel, or, you know, with a scrunchie, like a silky kind of scrunchie like this, and tie it up in a tight bun, and just leave it while you're reading or watching a movie or whatever. To take the oil out, you need to go into the shampoo. Yes, you can use root to tip serum as a base. What I use as a base is also is the booster oil for every day. I'm using booster oil with those and on my hair every day, and you can see it doesn't look oily, right? So to take it out, you need to get in the shower, leave your hair dry, get the whatever shampoo you use, your doTERRA shampoo, get that on your hair, foam it up, and you're going to start putting it in your scalp and on your hair, completely dry, to lift the fat off your scalp. Then you rinse it, and then you wash it again. And you may need to do a third wash as well if you really absorb it. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. But that will also help with mental clarity. So I want you to remember that you need to move in the day. But if you do movement that stresses you, you are going to throw your cortisol out and your sleep patterns out, right? So go gently. Just start simple. A walk in nature. I now have a rebounder that I use throughout the day. It's near my clothesline because I love doing the washing and stuff, and I'm using it throughout the day always. It's looking out at nature for me. I've got it outside, and I just get on the rebounder. The gym and, you know, weights for bone density is really important, but just keep it gentle. Hire someone to teach you how to do all of this first. For energy and hydration, I want you to look at 𝗪𝗡 Recharge in your water throughout the day, and you can put your 𝗪𝗡 oil, peppermint oil, essential oil in your water. And then remember, for mood support and nervous system, citrus bloom and adaptive. And neroli has been shown clinically to support anyone going through the menopause journey, just even inhaling neroli. So when you're using neroli and touch, yes, they're amazing for your skincare, you know, on your face and your body, but just swipe it under your nose, the neroli as well, to help. And that will really help with mood modulation too. And then for pain and hormonal support, ice blue past tense and claricalm. So whichever one of those, the ice blue roller and past tense. Ice blue for those overseas is deep blue, and the rub, the ice blue rub or the stick. And then peppermint, frankincense, again layered with claricalm. Breathing in, getting it on your body, layering it with that rub, the ice blue rub. Make a 10 ml roller bottle for yourselves. Decant some of that claricalm out and put it in with some peppermint and Frankie, and of course copaiba if you want to as well. Next slide. Oh God, there's 250 comments in there. Jackie, are you onto all of this? I'm just seeing that. Okay, great. Thanks. Sorry. Okay, so supporting your body from within. This is going to have to be another presentation because I'm running out of time. I'm happy to organize something else and go through this with you, but suffice to say, you need to understand, just take a screenshot of that, but you need to understand that your digestive enzymes begin diminishing in your 20s slowly. But when you hit your 40s, I think they're kind of down to half of what we normally have. I can't remember. Jackie, I don't know if you remember the stats on that, but they diminish rapidly. So you need digestive enzymes to support you. So have the 𝗪𝗡 in the beginning to start regulating yourself and to support with that enzymatic action to digest the food, especially if you're bloating every time you eat. Have one with every meal. If it's a particularly heavy meal, you are taking 2 of them. You can take the 𝗪𝗡𝗧 Assist with your 𝗪𝗡, no problem. They both work really well together. At first, doTERRA thought they weren't going to work well together, so we were told not to take them together, but now we're backed by science to say they both work really well together. And PB Assist, loves, do not take that at night. Take it during the day. The last thing you want is when you go to sleep and your body's trying to deal with these pre and pro and postbiotics coming in. So PB Assist or PB Restore needs to be morning or daytime. If you have problems with digestive system, bloatedness, discomfort while you sleep, during my perimenopause journey, all of a sudden I started getting heartburn and things repeating. Like I would wake up with hot acid in my throat, like I thought I was going to throw up. Take 2 𝗪𝗡 at night. I've regulated it now. I don't get that anymore, but for the last couple of years, I was doing 2 𝗪𝗡 every night. If you go out to eat, equally take those 1 to 2 at night. Remember to keep going with your LLV in the day. The full dose is 2 of each twice a day. So the 𝗪𝗡𝗧 Suite is supporting blood sugar levels as well. So that's where your assist comes in and metabolic function. The oil is supporting your cellular energy and hydration. Your cellular support and whole body support comes from your lifelong vitality, and targeted relief that you just need to have in the cupboard for as needed are things like 𝗝𝗨𝗧 soft gels. The turmeric is back now, so I would have had that in there had I known, and the deep blue polyphenols. Polyphenols work with pain relief. 𝗝𝗨𝗧, just go back and watch the masterclass I did on that. Is working with your CB2 receptors and your endocannabinoid system. It attaches to that and it reduces inflammation and pain. Peppermint and frankincense supporting with headaches and focus and clarity. Next slide, Sim. So just take a photo of this and you might just want to scan for that 𝗪𝗡𝗧 ebook. You can safely use the 𝗪𝗡𝗧 oil in your castor oil pack as well as the DigestZen, or just straight up fennel and grapefruit or fennel and Roman chamomile for digestive system. Cardamom's another good one. Just work with what works for you, but I found the 𝗪𝗡𝗧 oil and DigestZen work for most everyone in this phase. Next slide, Sim. Just take a photo. This is how to use it. I take my 𝗪𝗡𝗧 Advantage at night because my biggest concern was sleep and I needed to regulate that. And I take it religiously every night with 2 lavender peace soft gels and 2 𝗝𝗨𝗧 soft gels. And now if I wake up with a hot flush during the night, which I can still do that, I still do that on average 2 to 3 times a night. So I'm getting much better sleep, but the key now is I can go straight back to sleep since taking the 𝗪𝗡𝗧 Advantage with the lavender peace and 𝗝𝗨𝗧 soft gels. Next slide. Make sure you take that just with cold water, never warm, and don't take your 𝗪𝗡𝗧 Advantage with any hot drinks, and it's better on an empty stomach. Where LLV, you need to take it with food. Okay, nervous system. Let's create a downshift now for evening reset. We want to create time for repair and reset. So turn down the lights. Get your golden lights around you. So change your overhead lighting so that you have golden light. Red light is great as well, but you can't really read by that for long periods of time. So get like a book lamp with golden light on it. Get the sunlight from the sunset into your eyeballs. Start slowing everything down. Eat earlier rather than later. Ideally, you want to be finished eating by between 6 and 7 p.m. Ideally, 6:30 is the latest, but say 7 for those that get home late from work. Be finished eating by then. Have time to release and let go the day. Go for a walk after your meal if you can, maybe with someone you love. You know, go for a walk with your dog, with your beloved, with whoever it is, your partner. Start diffusing adaptive and Shinrin-yoku. I love them together. It signals safety to the mind, body, and spirit and begins to regulate your cortisol. It's going to take you out of that sympathetic overdrive and push the invisible button of your parasympathetic system for rest, reset, digest, repair. You want to nourish your body with your evening skincare ritual. So after you've done your 𝗓𝗧, layer with rose touch and blue lotus for hydration. Add yarrow pom into your aromatic dressing at night, the one that I've given you before on the slides and that's in your ebook, and add a whole dropper full of that yarrow pom for hormone regulation at night. This is also going to support repair and regeneration of your skin. For mental and emotional reset, inhale the essential oils. I've got some ideas there. The touch oils of neroli, rose, blue lotus, or magnolia. Enter a gratitude practice. It's really important to bookend your day with gratitude and just go into gentle reflection. So you want to reduce the mental load, and this is a gorgeous way to do that. Reduce the stress by breathing in your essential oils. Neroli is a very underused essential oil. I think all 4 of these are underused, with maybe the exception of rose, but all 4 of these are underused for what I'm talking about. I'm talking about using them to enter your parasympathetic state, to enter the stillness so that you can go through reset and repair mode. To prepare for deep sleep, diffusing Shinrin-yoku and or with your lavender peace. The science shows diffusing Shinrin-yoku, which is our forest bathing blend. When you inhale it, when you're smelling it in the diffuser or in your hands and on your body in aromatic dressing if you want that, or anointing yourself with it, when you're inhaling it, it sets up the same chemical response in our body that we have when we walk through a forest. It's incredible. So diffusing this 8 to 9 hours at night, which is perfect while you're sleeping, is going to balance your cortisol levels. What a gift, hey? Put a number 8 in the chat because that's a pretty number if you love Shinrin-yoku, if you've been using it, and you can share how you love to use it. Anoint with Magnolia Touch. Magnolia has the highest amount of linalool of all of the essential oils that doTERRA has, more than lavender, and it's over 70% doTERRA Magnolia essential oil of linalool, which is deeply, deeply relaxing. That's what slows down the mind and relaxes you. Do you remember earlier I spoke about spikenard and vetiver, these kind of oils, valerian? These are the oils that slow your mind down. If you have a racing mind, again, do you remember my little trick of, get the essential oils into your hairline and on your hair? Take a little bit of valerian or spikenard or vetiver, whatever you have there, get on your fingertips and rub it into the lining, the hair lining, and into your scalp, and then a little bit under the nose. And then layer that with magnolia and or neroli, right? Magnolia around your eyes to relax your eyes is incredible. Across your forehead, slow everything down. Then you're going to take your sleep stick and layer it over the top and lock in the oils, right? You're going to lock in those beautiful essential oils and the fat that's in the touch, right? Get it on your feet. If you find that your mind is so hyperactive and doesn't stop, take some valerian or vetiver or spikenard, whatever you have, again, whatever you have, and if you don't have it, get one of them in your cart and get it on your big toes to quiet the mind. That's your head in reflexology. Quiet the mind, quiet the mind. Set aromatic anchors so that your night is supporting you to go into melatonin release and recovery mode. So your supplements are 2 lavender peace soft gels, or 1 to 2, depending how your sleep is. 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 soft gels, 1 to 2. And if you're post 50 or late 40s, or if you're experiencing what I did with sleeplessness, take it with a MetaPower Advantage. And you want to drink that in 30 to 60 seconds. Just drink it down with those soft gels. Then stay seated, stay sitting up. You can go to the next slide, Sim, so that you can digest it and just be reading a book quietly. So here's a deep sleep blend to support your parasympathetic system. and just going with our sleep kit here, the lavender piece is promoting parasympathetic nervous system activity. It's supporting the GABA pathways, so your brain's calming neurotransmitter, and it's helping to reduce cortisol. Let's look at the valerian first before magnolia. It's increasing GABA availability in the brain, so that's helping the brain to switch to relaxation. It's going to shorten the time to fall asleep, which is what we call sleep latency, and it's going to support deeper, more restorative sleep cycles, hence why I am able to fall asleep so quickly. Is valerian gentler than vetiver? A lot of people prefer it, especially anyone who's subjected to like nightmares or night terrors. The valerian is a good counterpoint to that. It's very strong. I mean, they're both really good. You're just going to have to play around with what works for you because hormonally we're so different. And then magnolia to reduce stress, anxious thoughts, anxious feelings, and emotional regulation and relaxation. So the magnolia touch comes in a touch form. It's suspended in fractionated coconut oil. Use it as a pure fume. Put it on your wrist so you're smelling it as you fall asleep. Under your nose so you smell it as you fall asleep. Next slide. And remember to layer this with the lavender peace stick, please, or serenity stick for those overseas. All right, the big M support. These are your big hitters. Rose, emotional balance, reduction in stress and hormonal disruption, regulating our nervous system, which is key for cortisol and endocrine support. Your endocrine system needs your support during this time, so turn to rose for that. And it's encouraging that more of the self-love and the softness and femininity, self-worth and confidence. Neroli touched. Go and research this. Just look at neroli during menopause and look at the science. It's incredible. Just inhaling it alone. Oh my gosh. So helping to reduce menopausal symptoms. When I learned this, I started using it flat out and I was like, why didn't I know this before? Also great for reducing blood pressure and those, seesawing of emotions. Supporting parasympathetic activation, which is your rest and reset state, digest, reset, sleep, lowering cortisol. When you go into parasympathetic, it's much easier now. Your body feels safe to release melatonin, which is what you need for sleep. If you stay in sympathetic overdrive, your body is not going to feel safe to release melatonin. It's just going to keep releasing serotonin because it's going to keep you on hyper alert to run. The Blue Lotus touch, oh my gosh, not only does she smell exquisite, right, as do the other two, this is nervous system. This is like a balm to your nervous system and emotions, helping whatever's trapped to come out safely. Go back to the very beginning of my presentation when I said what goes in has to come out. This is a safe way to let those emotions come out so that you feel safe and held, right? And of course, seek support from a holistic practitioner, a counselor, a psychologist, whatever it is you need if you really feel you need that. These are tools I'm saying that will, well, they help me so much. These and the adaptive touch, I don't go anywhere without them. We're restoring pleasure pathways as well. So for women who feel like they have lost their libido, they've lost their desire, they love their husbands or their wives deeply, but they have no, they can't match their love and desire, right? Oh my gosh, they're so hot. I love them. I just want to be with them. And then you get to that point, it's like you can't. And it could just be because lovemaking has become painful. So these three will help with the restoration of that. And remember what I said about the yarrow pom and getting that into a mix so that you can put that on your labia and internally if you need to. Next slide. So just take a photo of this. I feel like I've really got to stop now, but where most people think hormones are the problem, really what we need to be looking at is our nervous system because that's driving the hormonal imbalance. Next one, Sim. So let's work with the HPA axis, which is working with your hypothalamus and your pituitary and your adrenals. When you can work with these, which is your body's stress command center, guess what starts to happen? All of a sudden, adrenal function starts to feel like it's less taxed. cortisol levels begin to balance out. Your communication with your ovaries, and your entire womb space actually is now completely different. It's no longer distorted. Your sleep cycles become so much healthier, and you feel much more stability with your moods and emotions, right? Because when you have extended acute stress, it goes into chronic stress, and your HPA axis is completely dysregulated. Go for it, Sim. Next slide. Sorry, I'm rushing everyone. There's so much to cover, but anyway. So why this matters is because during perimenopause through to postmenopause, estrogen and progesterone fluctuate and decline. So if you saw in the beginning when I was covering the maiden and the mother time, we just had very steady hormonal influxes at certain times. But here your body is experiencing this fluctuation and a depletion, and it's throwing everything into confusion. Your body becomes more sensitive to cortisol and to stress, and so cortisol is being released more and more. We weren't intended to stay in the sympathetic system with cortisol being released. Cortisol is needed. We need to run away from stress, right, or danger. So we want to create a buffering effect and create greater safety, because when progesterone lowers, which is our calming hormone, we stay in high stress. So using these essential oils and supplements that I mentioned is going to start create this buffer. Okay, next slide, Sim. So these oils aren't replacing hormones. This isn't HRT. This is regulating your entire system that controls hormones. This is why we need the foundational, the concrete slab established, and also why we need the extra building blocks like the 𝗪𝗛𝗧 and the nutraceuticals like your lavender peace soft gels and your 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗧 soft gels. Next one, Sim. So just take a photo of this, you guys. I think I've gone through this enough with you, but if you just go through the slides, Sim, and they can just take photos of this. I want you to really get into neroli, everyone. Who's a yes for trying neroli now to feel safe and regulated again, because the clinical studies with this are outstanding. Yeah, good. And who's a big yes for Blue Lotus? I want you to put blue in the chat if you're going to give Blue Lotus a big go. Great. Next slide, Sim. Yes. Take a photo of this with Queen Rose. And then the next one, Sim. Here we go. Blue Lotus. Get back into your pleasure with these key essential oils. Neroli, Rose, and Blue Lotus will really help you get back in touch with your pleasure center. Come back to yourself, to feel again, to be able to receive again. And that, who's excited to try yarrow pom in a new way? So when you're faced with your 𝗪𝗧 system and also for your vagina, right? I'm sorry, there's just no other way to say it. I'm going to call a spade a spade. If she's feeling really dry, if she's feeling painful during lovemaking, this is what you need. Okay, next slide, Sim. Think of it this way: neroli to stabilize your system, Rose to soften the emotional load, and Blue Lotus to restore connection and vitality. If you only regulate, you calm your system, but you may still feel very disconnected. If you only open without safety, you may not fully receive the love and the healing and the reset that wants to come to you. And if you only soften, but cortisol remains high, your symptoms are going to persist. So you use this holy trinity to support your entire body system, to calm your system, to feel safe, and to regulate cortisol. Next slide. So hormonal harmony, now you know. It means nervous system safety, emotional processing, that is something that you can keep doing day by day with your aromatic dressing, with your sunlight, with your gentle movement in nature, with your gentle breathing, increases your capacity to receive and connection to self and to other. Next slide. So there you go. You can scan this, and I have some blends. I have added vertigo for any other women who experienced it like me. And then from the EOE Books app, if you don't have that, I recommend you download it. I also learned when I was going through this to just put some frankincense. You can either do 1 or 2 drops under your tongue or on your finger and just line it in the thin membranes of your mouth, under your tongue and your cheeks. And then drinking peppermint essential oil in the water was really good. But this was the one I didn't know about. Helichrysum touch on the bone behind the ear and layer with neroli touch, and then put both of those under the nose and inhale. Do the peppermint experience, inhaling it through your nose and making like a straw and inhaling it through your mouth. Please get the rose hydrosol and make sure you're spritzing with that to reduce hot flashes. The rose moringa oil can be lined over your uterus or go into your aromatic dressing, and also for your face. So I think the rose duet, get your hands on it, as well as that blue lotus and, you know, the oils I mentioned. So just scan that. Does everyone have that? I think that's it, Sim. Go to the next slide, and I think we're done. Oh, if you want to follow me on Instagram, please do. I give so many tips. I've got so many free masterclasses. There's a few that are like nominal amounts, but if anyone ever sees anything I'm doing and you can't afford it, you can get rid of this now, Sim. Please just let me know. I'm always gifting everything. It's really just to help cover all my admin costs, because I write copious amounts with ebooks and stuff. Okay. I'm so sorry I went overtime, everyone. I really am. I was just trying to cover so much. I hope that was helpful. Can I just see yes in the chat if that was helpful and you've got some things that you can bring into your everyday life? Great. So
I will just give you a tip on Blue Lotus. It is very, very limited quantities for Mother's Day, and we are 40% sold out, nearly 50% in New Zealand. Like there's only in the hundreds left. So you've got the insider track on what it's great for now. Like staff can't even buy it. So if you really want that, I would get on as soon as possible and make sure you get your hands on that, because as Vanessa's explained, it's a really beautiful oil.
Yes.
We'll sell out of that tonight.
Yeah, please get the rose duet, you guys. And if you can't afford both, get the hydrosol, because this duet won't be available for a long time now. This is it. This is it. So you want this to help regulate your hormones and really nourish your skin. Just use the rose moringa, a little pump in your aromatic dressings when you're having hormonal influxes. Like, it's going to be really powerful for you. But that hydrosol spray, oh my gosh, it's a game changer for hot flashes during the night or the day. Works pretty instantly. Trust me, I know. So please remember, my loves, that we have 𝗪𝗡𝗏𝗪𝗔𝗍 next, and she's going to go through the hormonal cycle next Monday. And then we have Joanna Rusling, a personal and very good friend of mine, who is an absolute genius, but she is going to share a story with you with her menopause journey that will absolutely fry your brain and blow your mind. And how she overcome it was with doTERRA, and in particular the MetaPower Suite. It literally saved her. So please make sure that you register, you get others as well registering for this series. We will send out the recording. And tonight we have a giveaway of one of my favorite oils on the planet. And I think since I started doTERRA, I've been harassing doTERRA to get it, and it's Fregonia. We can only have it limited time. I'm so jealous because I can't win this. And then we also have beautiful cotton wipes, which you can use with, your booster oil onto your skin to take off excess makeup or anything, or your FCO cleansing pads they are. So do you have a question you want to ask them to win this, Sim or Jackie? How can we get them to win this? Maybe what we can do is, so that I can, did you have an idea, Sim, or do you want me to go with my one? Okay.
Go with yours.
Okay, so what we want you to do is show us in your Instagram or Facebook stories, tag doTERRA AUNZ I think it is the product one. Put that in the chat. And you can tag, Jackie or myself so we see it as well. How you are going to use something that you learned tonight, whether that's the Blue Lotus or the Yarrow Pom or something. Tell your people, your community, what you're working with, that you're going to use this for the solution, and then tag us so that we can help hold you accountable. And you're going to go into the draw. Everyone who does that, you'll go into the draw to win a bottle of Fregonia, which is known as the Golden Triangle because it covers everything so beautifully: mental health, immune system, and emotional health so beautifully, and skin support. And you'll go into the draw to win that and the cleanser pads. How does that sound? Can I see yes in the chat if everyone's up for that? Great. So for the next 24 hours, you've got 24 hours to do it, right? So people watching the recording tomorrow, you can join us in doing this as well. But you have to tag doTERRA AUNZ, and then, you can tag one of us as well so we see it also, but make sure you tag AUNZ. And then, Sim, I guess you'll look at that and pop them all in a drawer and someone will be announced. Yeah, great. Thank you for having me, everyone.
Ness, that was incredible. On behalf of everyone, thank you so, so much for sharing so personally about your own story, but also so eloquently the science around menopause and the application of doTERRA in our lives. One question that is the ebook is unable to be downloaded, so I'm sure we can change the settings there and send that all out, hun, if that's okay.
It's not being downloaded? What, even from the chat? Even from
no,
the
I've been trying. It's just
code?
a read. It's just a read only, and like almost a little video, like an MP5. We're not able to download it, so I've tried it a couple of times. Oh, the QR code's working?
Yeah, if you put it in our education chat, I'm losing my voice. I can email it out to everybody that registered for the call, so we can just make sure everybody gets it that way.
Okay.
Oh, that is awesome. Everyone has loved this call. I've got RSI from typing. I've not stopped.
Oh my gosh, sweetie. I'm so sorry about that. Jackie was like, how can I support you? I'm like, I think the chat. Okay. Is there anything, if there's anything that you need, just feel free to DM me in Instagram. That's the easiest way to reach me at this point. But yeah, I'm glad that this was informative. And you guys, I want to tell you one more thing. Here's a little tip. doTERRA has a convention, one every year. When you come to conventions, this is to support you as a customer, to learn about this kind of juicy, really good stuff. Simone Johnson, who's hosting this call with us, has got some phenomenal topics and surprises in store for you all. Come and learn. Get your bums on those seats. Let's put the link in the chat and send it out with the email recording to everyone. Because when you come to these conventions, they are life-changing. Life-changing. You'll be around like-minded and like-hearted people. You'll form friends you never knew that you needed. And you will learn from the people on the stage in a way that will stay with you forever. So
we have some amazing things in store for you this year in terms of speakers, and I can't tell you what it is, but we're going to announce it very shortly in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you get your tickets, because we do think we're going to sell out once we announce some of our big speakers that are coming. So get ready to push that buy ticket button.
Yes. Okay, my loves, thanks for being here. Thanks for hosting, sisters. And we will see you next week for M. Falconbridge and the week after for Joanna Rusling. Feel free to share the registration link for this. Remember to go into your stories, share what you're going to do. Tag me, we'll share it. Tag doTERRA, you have to tag doTERRA AUNZ so that they can see it, and you'll be entered into the draw.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Love you all.
Bye. Thanks, Ned.
Bye. Thanks.